Aretha and Eric went out at night to spend the night together just like any couple would do. And to Aretha's greatest surprise, Eric bent the knee and proposed marriage to Aretha. Aretha could not believe what was happening at that very moment, and it took her over 1 minute to say yes. She couldn't believe it was a moment, and so they danced and drank wine together. And Aretha followed Eric to his hotel room, where they would spend the night together. However, Eric had a different plan. Eric, what's happening? Who is knocking the door like that? I don't know. Let me check. As Eric was about to open the door, Adekunle kicked the door open, and as they got into the room, they grabbed Eric, and then Aretha ran out of the room and shouting, "Help! Help!" When they came down from the car, they brought many items such as bag of rice, beans, some tubers of yams. They also brought palm wine and native kola nuts. Aretha was outside drying her clothes when she saw 3 of them, and she ran towards Eric and gave him a hug. "Eric, you came early. You look good. Thank you, my love. And also meet my business partners, Toby and Adekunle." "Good morning, Sir Toby and Sir Adekunle. You are welcome to my house." "Thank you for welcoming us," Toby said, and they all went inside to greet Aretha's parents. "Gentlemen, you are all welcome. What can we offer you?" "Don't worry, Mama. We brought good palm wine and you will love it." "Oh, where is it?" "Aretha, please take my key and open the boot. You will see a wine, and please bring it." Eric gave Aretha the key to his car so that Aretha can bring the wine. However, what Aretha saw was not what she expected. When she opened the boot of the car, she saw the items Eric bought for her parents, and she was overjoyed. She was jumping up and shouting, "Mama, Mama, come and see." And her mother rushed out and saw the items Eric brought for them, and she was happy that her daughter has finally found a man to marry, but not knowing the secret behind the man's wealth. And as they were introducing themselves, Sophia came in. Aretha introduced Eric to Sophia before Eric's conversation with Aretha's parents. Aretha's mother asked Eric. She said, "My in-law, where do you work and what do you do for a living?" "I'm into real estate, Mama, and also I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own business, and these 2 gentlemen that's with me are my partners." "That's a good job. I wish many young men are like you." "Thank you, Mama. And Mama, we must be on our way now. Business calls." "Oh, so soon?" "Yes, Mama. I promised Aretha I will come today, so I had to schedule my time, and I'm afraid the clock is ticking." "Okay, my in-law. Go well, okay? God bless you for all the gifts." Mama, before I forget, here is some money for you, just for your upkeep." "What? For me?" Eric gave Aretha's mother some bundles of money for her upkeep, and she couldn't believe her eyes. And she prayed for him and blessed him before he left. And 2 days after, Sarah, the daughter of Chief Eze, was seen walking in the streets. People around the neighborhood was gossiping her. They were saying, "Is that not Sarah? I heard she was missing few months ago. But who found her? And look how she had reduced in her body size." When she got to the salon, people were shocked to see her, and she told them what happened and how she was freed by the men who took her. That afternoon, Aretha went to the salon to make her hair when she heard the news about Sarah's disappearance and release. She was shocked to hear what happened about Sarah, the daughter of Chief Eze, and this time she heard it with her own ears. And she called Sophia that evening to discuss about the shocking news she heard about Sarah. "Hey Sophia." "Hi Aretha, how are you doing this evening?" "I'm okay. I just wanted to let you know that I heard something related to that news you told me about." "Oh, you mean that news about disappearing persons in our town? I thought you said it was a fake news. So you now heard it by yourself, Abby?" "Yes, I heard it, and they were talking about Sarah, some girl that lives in our town, that she was kidnapped and people thought she traveled, not knowing the real story behind her mysterious disappearance. Well, we need to be careful until the police has found a solution to this evil act. And by the way, I'm going out with Eric tonight, but don't worry, I will buy you something, okay?" "Okay dear, we will see you tomorrow." Aretha and Eric went out at night to spend the night together just like any couple would do. and to Areta's greatest surprise, Eric bent the knee and proposed marriage to Areta. Areta could not believe what was happening at that very moment, and it took her over 1 minute to say yes. She couldn't believe it was a moment, and so they danced and drank wine together. And Areta followed Eric to his hotel room, where they would spend the night together. However, Eric had a different plan. His motive that night was to kidnap Areta and then take her to the headquarters of the Supreme Agudo, where most of the rich men renew their wealth, because she is a worthy sacrifice to the Supreme Agudo. Eric went into the bathroom to make a phone call, and he put on the shower so that Areta wouldn't hear his conversation. "Hello Adekule, I have her now. Perfect. I am on my way. Just keep her calm. We are coming for both of you." Eric called Adekule, the number 3 man in their court, and he told him he has Areta, their new target, and they made it look like a robbery. "Eric, what's happening? Who is knocking the door like that?" "I don't know. Let me check." As Eric was about to open the door, Adekule kicks the door open, and as they got into the room, they grabbed Eric, and then Areta ran out of the room and shouting, "Help! Help!" And she ran to the security post, but no one was there. And as she turned around, she saw Eric walking up to her, and he said, "They left." "What? Who are they?" "They took my money, my watch, and my neck chain." "So they are thieves?" "Yes, I think so." "Did they harm you?" "No, they did not. I'm okay. Thank goodness." The men who came to Eric's room are Eric's accomplices, and as soon as they noticed Areta had run outside, they made up another strategy to take Eric's belongings so that she wouldn't suspect anything. "My God, I can't sleep here, Eric. I'm going home." And so Areta went home that night, a joyful and terrible night. And that was the first attempt of Eric trying to kidnap Areta, his wife-to-be. However, the second time was worse than this. The next day, Areta called Sophia on the phone and told her Eric proposed marriage to her, and the ring is beautiful. Sophia was so happy for her, and she couldn't believe her best friend would be getting married soon. She also told Sophia about how thieves broke into their hotel room and took all of Eric's belongings that was present in the hotel that night, and Sophia said, "Thank God you are safe. I can't imagine a good thing and a bad thing happening the same day." Well, who knows? When Areta told her parents about the proposal, her parents were so happy and thankful that their prayers have been answered. They were happy not knowing that darkness is approaching faster. Few weeks after, they started making preparations for the marriage ceremony, but before that, Eric changed his mind. He decided that Areta is too innocent for what is coming and wanted to take Sophia instead. So his plans was to kidnap Sophia on the wedding day so that he can marry Areta to himself. For somehow, he found feelings in her, and that feelings that made him change his mind. And so he told Toby he wanted Sophia instead of Areta, but however, Toby, the number 1 man, was showing stubbornness. "Don't tell me you have gotten soft, Eric. We must proceed with the first target." I said no. For some reason, I have decided to change my mind, and I believe Sophia is pure as well. She hasn't been touched by any man, and she will be accepted by the Supreme Agudo. Have you found love in this girl, Areta? Why do you care? After all, you are not the one marrying her. I have decided to make her my wife because I like her. You like her? And you want to take her best friend from her? Are you really that evil, Eric? Toby, just do as I have wished. I see. But don't worry, we shall not fail you, Eric. Eric has shown weakness before the members of the Agodo, and for that reason, Toby, the number 1 man, decided to go against Eric's wish. And he said, "I will show Eric that I am the number 1 man. I will show him that in this court we show no mercy, neither do we go against our plan, for I will take away his weakness and restore back his strength once more." As the day of the wedding is approaching faster, Areta made sure that she invited all her friends from other towns, and they decorated her father's compound beautifully, as that is the place where the marriage will take place. "Oh, I can't wait to be married. I can't wait to be in my husband's house. I can't wait to drive my own car and to carry my child. Oh, I can't wait. A week after, on Saturday, it was the day of the wedding. Areta looked beautiful that day on her wedding dress and Eric looked handsome. Sophia was the flower girl. She is the one who brought the flower to Areta so that she can throw it to the next person that wishes to be married. And as she was about to throw the flower, a mysterious black van drove into the compound with speed, scattering all the tables, and men in black came out of the van. They covered their faces so that no one could identify them, and they grabbed Areta into the van and they took off. And while people was running away from the compound, Eric fell on his knees and said, "What have I done?" And he ran into his car and followed them. He was calling Toby, but Toby refused to pick up. While Sophia was crying for Areta, Areta's mother had fainted and was taken to the hospital immediately. Her father was on the ground crying and crying. Sophia quickly called a Folktale and told him what has happened, and they both went to the police to give a report. And the police said, "Do not worry, we will try our best to find her." Areta was already presented before the Supreme Agodo when Eric rushed in and said, "What is the meaning of this?" Areta, being blindfolded, did not know what was happening, but she was hearing a voice that sounded like Eric's voice, and she was shocked to hear Eric's name. "Eric, what did you see in this woman that made you change your mind? This is not who you are. What is the meaning of this? I told you to go after a friend, but you don't have any choice now. She already know who you are, and we must carry out the sacrifice to the Supreme Agodo. So this is your plan, Toby." "Eric, please, I know you can hear me. Just let me go. I won't tell anyone about you. Please, I will keep your secret. Please, I am my mother's only child, and you saw how they were happy with me. Please, I don't want them to be sad." "I'm sorry, Areta. I wanted to marry you, but it didn't go as planned." While Areta was begging Eric, Sophia and the Folktale looked for Areta's phone on the ground in her father's compound, and when they saw it, they took it to the police. And when they successfully opened the phone, a last call was Eric, and they collected the number and tracked it, and they discovered that where Eric's phone was is in a location full of bushes. As Toby and Adekule took Areta to the room to offer the sacrifice to the Supreme Agodo, the police stormed the building and was searching the place and freeing the people that was held captive. And as Toby and Eric heard the police siren, they ran through the back of the shrine and fled. And the police arrested Adekule and other members of the court, and they took Areta home. When Sophia saw Areta, tears began to drop from her eyes. She never thought she would see her best friend again. And Areta said to Sophia, "It was Eric. It was him that took me, him and his friends," she said as she weeps. And she asked, "Where is my father?" And Sophia said, "She is at the hospital with your mother. She fainted when you were taken by the men." Was the police able to arrest Eric? Sophia said. "No, they couldn't find him. He fled. It all makes sense now. I should have listened to you the first time. It's okay. Thank God you are okay. I must go see my mother now. What hospital is she at? I will take you. Let's go together, Areta." And so Sophia took Areta to the hospital where her mother is being treated. And when she saw Areta, she was happy and felt a great relief. And she asked, "Where is your husband?" And the question triggered tears from Areta's eyes, and she said, "He is no more. I will explain better when we are home." And so 3 days after, Areta's mother was discharged from the hospital. Her mother advised her to take her time before she follow another man, and that she should make sure that she find out well what he does for a living. And so Areta returned back to her normal life as a single woman in search of a man to marry, and this time she is ready to settle with any man, whether rich or poor.